Hey guys, welcome to my room. Why are we in my room? For a new segment that I like to call Late Night Discussions. As you all know, this morning marked the 100th episode of MLP. Such an accomplishment is hard for any TV show to achieve, let alone a cartoon. So it makes sense that DHX would want to do something special for it, and they did not disappoint. What followed is a very intriguing and character-expansive episode, but enough of the overview, let's talk about it. Starting with Cranky and Matilda. You know, when they were first introduced back in Season 2, I never found them all too interesting. I don't hate them or anything, it's just that the show never gave them a personality outside of, he's cranky but she loves him anyway. While watching this episode, my opinion remained largely unchanged. Up until the wedding. Throughout the event, I was surprised to see how many ponies showed up. Even the princesses felt that it was worth going to. But why? Surely there's nothing special about a couple of donkeys. Until you consider their history. Cranky met Matilda at the Grand Galloping Gala, and for one night, everything was well, but in the morning she was nowhere to be found, and Cranky quite literally traveled Equestria in search of her, only to find her as he was about to give up. When you think about it, that's one heck of a story, and it explains why so many ponies went to this wedding. It's practically the fairy tale ending to an otherwise good story. But come on, they're not the highlight of this episode. The background ponies are. So let's start with Derpy and Dr. Hooves. First off, Derpy is adorable. From the way she pulled out the muffin basket to when she wanted to use the flameless fireworks, she simply radiates cuteness, being bested only by Fluttershy. But what is Derpy without a time-traveling genius by her side? Considering DHX couldn't make him an actual Time Lord for obvious reasons, I think they handled him rather well. I didn't expect the bowling scene, but it was an interesting surprise. He's quirky, smart, what more could you ask for? Oh, and this scene.
There you are! My suit has vanished and this was the only thing left in my closet. How do I look?
Like a million bits.
Great wickering stallions! Look at the time! We'd better get inside. Allons-y!
Hear that? It's the sound of half the fandom exploding. And then there's Lyra and Bonbon. I don't know how I feel about these two. While I do like them, they've always been towards the bottom of my favorite background pony list, and so I don't think I can judge how the show handled them with any accuracy. I will say that it's wise that DHX didn't make Lyra's obsession with humans canon, as it would be a stretch even by MLP standards, though they essentially replaced that with Bonbon working for a super secret monster hunting agency, so take your pick. You know, I've always been curious how Ponyville and the locals are still standing over the years. This town just takes beating after beating, but this episode suggests that perhaps that's the exact reason why Ponyville is still chugging along. Being inconveniently built right next to the Everfree Forest, the locals must be used to this constant danger, to the point where a monster attack is seen as an inconvenience that would interfere with practice. Unless that's just the way Octavia rolls. And I just have to say this, Octavia is awesome. Vinyl is awesome, and their cello dubstep song was awesome. Now that I got that off my chest, I like that Vinyl didn't have a speaking role, mostly because the fandom already has a voice for her, and I don't think DHX wants to be the ones who shatter it. That, and the idea that Octi does all the talking in the friendship, is interesting, considering how Vinyl is usually depicted as noisy and talkative, while Octavia is the more reserved and quiet one. Speaking of Octavia, thank goodness that she didn't have the same voice from the movie.
I knew she was still trouble.
I also like that she isn't uptight and actually welcomes Vinyl's dubstep interjection. The house that they live in is not what I would have expected, though admittedly I found it hilarious. First the gala, now the wedding? I hope I'm not the only one that thinks real and down-to-earth Celestia is fun to watch. This is the kind of relationship between these two that I've been waiting for since Luna was reformed. It shows that they may be princesses, but they're still siblings, and this is what siblings do. Argue over unimportant things. It's the little scenes like this that work wonders towards Celestia's as well as Luna's character, adding more dimension to them as well as making them just a little bit more relatable. All in all, I really hope to see more sides of them in the future. And lastly, we come to the main six. While they didn't have very much screen time, there is a lot to be said about the roles they play in Equestria. By using the best of my judgment, it's fair to propose that they were fighting the bugbear for the better half of the day. And what was the recognition they got for it? An applause. sort of. And not being able to make the wedding, we're left to catch it through the window. It's almost as if the other ponies just expect the 6 to deal with the danger while they go on with their lives, as if it isn't even happening. I like this. It shows that being the hero doesn't mean you'll get praise. Heck, it doesn't even guarantee recognition. Sometimes the only thing that makes a job worthwhile is knowing what could happen if you weren't doing it, whether anyone notices or not. And for the most part, it seems that the 6 are fine with that, which is why this episode's Pony of the Week award, or rather, Ponies of the Week, goes to the main 6, sacrificing for nothing in return. Who knows where Ponyville would be without them? Now it's time for the official score.